Okay, I'm going to try to explain how a mini split works, and I still think it's a little bit of magic, but this is what I know. This is what I can say. It's made up of a few different things. There's an outdoor unit, and an indoor unit. There's a compressor. There's a reversing valve. And then there's two expansion valves. Clear so far? Okay, so if you're in heating mode, the compressor compresses the gas and it goes into the reversing valve. And as that gas heats up, it leaves the compressor high pressure, high temperature. Then that gas is directed through the reversing valve over to the indoor unit. And there's a fan in the indoor unit, and it blows the room temperature air across this coil, which is heated, superheated gas. And as it passes through there, it cools. It's still high pressure gas. Comes down here, goes around the bypass on this side, on the expansion valve, comes over here, expands, comes in here as a fairly high pressure gas, not that warm. Here it expands, cools even further, leaves here at a low pressure, low temperature gas, and then the same thing happens outside. There's a fan, it blows the air over that, further bringing it to pressure, comes back, and then goes back in here, back into the compressor. Same thing. Does that make sense so far? One of the things that makes this work, you would think, like on the outside, if the gas comes in here, I mean, it could be 15 below. How is there any heat in 15 below? Well, there wouldn't be if it wasn't for the gas. So water boils at 212 or 100 C. This R410A has a boiling point of 40 below, or I can't remember what it was, C. So when it gets to the outdoor thing, it's already colder than the outside air. So even though the outside air is 15 degrees, it'll still warm up that coolant because it's so cold. So that's the secret of how it works. So in a cooling situation, that's the nice thing about the mini split, is it'll heat and cool, air conditioner. It actually can just dry the air inside. There's a filter that I didn't draw in here, but the filter takes the moisture out. But when you're in cooling mode, what happens is the compressor, again, leaves here hot, goes over here to the outside condenser, or the outdoor unit, goes down here, loses a bunch of energy, comes through here, this time bypasses this valve, but expands here, and that gas cools down. So it enters the indoor unit as cool air. You have the warm, moist air outside blowing through there, takes that energy, comes back here, goes to the reversing valve, compressor, that loop. Any questions? Okay. It's January 22nd today. We've already had probably over 3 feet of snow, and which is probably snowier than previous winters for us. But it got a little warm earlier in the week, and all the snow finally released from the roof. Now, I would say there was probably at least a foot thick up there on the roof, and I would say there's probably 2 or 3 inches of ice on the bottom as that snow compacts. It's like a glacier, turns into ice. So all of that snow finally slid off the roof, and here's what we're looking at. Here you can see that's a 5-foot fence. So we got probably about 3.5 feet of snow. But I want to show you something out here, so let's see if I can get out here. Now, this is very exciting because we finally got our mini split. So, first thing we needed to do was mount this bracket. I knew, of course, that water was going to, or snow was going to build up down here, so I needed to get it off the ground. Second thing I did was welded these 2 brackets, and I put a little roof section over that, because roof snow and ice coming from the main roof would pretty much crush this unit. So this is our Mitsubishi mini split. This is the outdoor condenser part. Here you can see line sets coming in. I ran the power. Here's our disconnect here. 40 amp circuit, 220. So here's the outdoor unit, and here you can see one of the line sets goes up and goes up past the roof there. So yeah, I'll explain more now, but I thought it might be interesting for you to get a sense just how much snow is here. If we go down here, this barrel is probably about over 2 feet deep, so yeah, gives you an idea. Yeah, a lot of snow this year. All right, here we have our indoor unit that's on the main floor. It's pumping out heat right now. I don't know if you can hear it. That's the inside unit. Okay, this is the unit up in the loft. I just turned it off, so it's kind of shutting down. They're not real big. It's probably about 3 feet across or so.